All right, so I'm going to probably try to just get right straight to the point. It says polygon C has an area of 40 square units, and Keenan draws a scaled version of C using a scale factor of 1/2 and labeled it D. What is the area of polygon D? All right, so first thing I want you to understand is if I have a shape and I don't even care what it looks like, okay, I have a shape and I'm going to multiply it by a scale factor, that scale factor either is going to make it bigger or is going to make it smaller. So if it's a fraction, if I'm multiplying whatever this shape is by a fraction, what it will do is it will make it smaller. All right. However, if I had a number that was a whole number or a number bigger than 1, such as 5, and that was my scale factor, it makes it larger, so it would be a larger shape. That's the concept with scale factors first off. Now, what we are going to do is for this polygon C, we know that it is 40 square units, all right? So that is the area of polygon C. However, we're going to multiply it by 1/2 of a scale factor, and we're going to get a smaller shape, which is what we talked about just then. However, your instinct is probably to go 40 times 1/2 and you get 20. Well, that's not the way area works. It does work when you're working with other scales, such as working with perimeter and working with side lengths, which is what you've been doing in Con already. In this case, we don't do that. What we actually have to do is we take this scale factor and we square it. So what that means is I'm going to have to take 1/2 and I am going to square it, which means I'm going to go 1/2 times 1/2, and 1 times 1 is equal to 1, and 2 times 2 is equal to 1/4. So since I'm working with area, I square the scale. That means that I don't multiply 40 by 1/2, but I multiply it by 1/4. Now that I've done that, I can go 40 times 1/4, and this shape here has an area of 10. So that is what D would be. All right. Your next question that you provided for me is that polygon H has a scaled copy of, is a scaled copy of G. And yes, I'm using an old sock. Do not judge me. All right. Polygon H is a scaled copy of polygon G using a scale factor of 1/4. H's area is what fractions of polygon G's area. So what it's saying in this one is that polygon G is going to be the bigger one than H. And the scale factor of this thing happened to be 1/4. But what I need to know is how much bigger it really is. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to square this number. And when I do, I square that and I get 1/4 times 1/4. That gives me a 1/16. So my actual size difference, the actual fraction is this is 1/16 of G. All right. So if this happened to be a square area of 16, I would have actually gone 16 times 1/16, and that would have been 1. So my answer for this one is actually going to be 1/16. It's just the scale squared. Next one. Polygon Y is a scaled copy of polygon X using a scale factor of 1/3. What is the fraction of X's area? So we know that polygon X, whatever that is, I'm just going to draw some random shape. Okay, it's polygon X, and it's being multiplied by a scale factor of 1/3. Okay, and that gives me my polygon Y, which is going to be smaller. But it's asking me what fraction of the area it is. Well, again, it's just like the last problem. Take that scale factor and square it. Well, 1/3 square is equal to 1/3 times 1/3. And 1 times 1 is equal to 1. And 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So the fraction is 1/9. Y is 1/9 of X. Sorry for the child in the background. Can't help it. All right, this last one. I think, yeah, it is the last one. Rectangle Q has an area of 2 square units. All right, Thea drew a scaled version of Q and labeled it R. All right, so unfortunately, let's see. Okay, cool. I see what to do. It says, what scale factor did Thea use to go from Q to R? Well, on your screen, you have, sorry about them again, you have rectangle R. So let's see if we could figure out, what the area is of R. All right. So if we go and count it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have a square that is 9 that way. And if I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that way. So a 9 by 8 is going to give me a 72 unit square area. All right. So we know that R happens to be 72 units squared, but I'm going from Q to R. So if I start with Q, it tells me that it's 2 square units. So what did I multiply to get from 2 to 72? Well, I can tell you this, that 2 times 36 will give me 72. So this number here is not the scale factor, it's the scale factor after it's been squared. So we're working backwards here. All right, so I know that 2 times 36 is 72. So what I have to find out now is what the square root of 36 is. So square root of 36. That is asking you what number, when multiplied by itself, equals 36. Well, the only answer that happens to be 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So the scale factor that was used in this particular problem was 6. So the original shape Q had a square unit of 2. They multiplied it by a square factor of 6. Well, in order to do that, 6 times 6 is 36. 2 times 36 gives me the 72, which is what we found out that rectangular R is in their area. Now, that was a quick crash course. My apologies for the screaming children in the background. I can't help that. Hopefully this helps you. If not, try to bring this up. We will have a Q&A this coming Monday and Wednesday, so please feel free to come in and talk to me then, and maybe we can do some more problems. All right, bye-bye.